One day, while studying in the library, Shen You's phone suddenly rings. As soon as she answers, a man on the other end urgently warns her that someone is coming for her. Before she can even process his words, 4 men in suits surround her. These guys don't look like they're here for a friendly chat. Sensing the danger, Shen You jumps to her feet and makes a run for the door, but an agent is already blocking her path. With no other choice, she pivots and sprints down the corridor, instead desperately searching for an escape. She spots a closet, flings open the door, and locks herself inside, hoping to evade the agents. But now, she's trapped with nowhere to go. Outside, the agents begin pounding on the door, trying to break it down. Shen You is terrified, her heart pounding in her chest. Just when all hope seems lost, the voice from the phone speaks again, telling her to turn around. Behind her, a strange yellow energy floats ominously in the air. Before she can react, a hand emerges from the glowing mass and grabs her. Shen You shuts her eyes and braces herself for the worst. By the time the agents finally break through the door, she is already gone. She has been taken by Wong, the same man who had called to warn her. He is now doing everything he can to get her far away from the agents, executing every parkour move in the book to stay ahead of them. However, the agents have a secret weapon to counter his agility, a gun. As Wong soars through the air, a shot is fired, striking him mid-flight. Though mostly unharmed, the hit slows him down significantly. Realizing that he won't be able to escape while carrying Shen You, he sets her down and quickly forms a barrier around her before turning to face his pursuers. Without hesitation, Wong leaps off a ledge, landing directly in front of one of the agents, whom he immediately takes out with a punch so powerful it probably made the guy start smelling colors. Another agent charges at him, but Wong effortlessly counters, sending him flying. 2 more agents attack simultaneously, but Wong fends them off as well. Eventually, one of them manages to tackle him, and the 2 struggle in midair. With the help of his allies, the agent manages to slam Wong into a nearby building. When the dust settles, all 3 agents are unconscious, while Wong remains completely unscathed. However, the collateral damage likely resulted in at least 10 innocent casualties. Still, Wong has no time to worry about that as one final agent stands before him. He floats out of the rubble and shrugs off his coat. Things are about to get serious. Tired of playing games, the agent decides to go all out. In an incredible display of strength, he lifts an entire building and hurls it at Wong. The people inside that building probably wish they had called in sick that day. But Wong doesn't even flinch. With his powers, he effortlessly catches the building, crushes it into massive chunks, and sends the debris hurtling back at the agent. The agent tries to defend himself, but Wong compresses the fragments even further, triggering an explosion so intense that it transports both of them into a mirror dimension. Wong is visibly annoyed. This was not part of his plan, and it's only going to cause more problems for him. However, before he can deal with that, he still has to finish off the agent. The agent pulls out his gun and aims it at Wong, which seems utterly pointless given that Wong just caught a building moments ago. But it doesn't matter, because in this dimension, the gun doesn't work. Before the agent can react, yellow energy begins to swirl around Wong, knocking the agent backward into a body of water. Time starts to rewind, and Wong hopes that in the next loop, things will play out differently. As the timeline resets, Shen You wakes up back at her desk in the library, completely unaware of everything that just happened. Sitting next to her is a much younger Wong, nervously asking for help with his math homework. Years pass, and eventually, everyone gathers at a high school mixer. The group is playing Jenga, and it's Shen You's turn to make a move. However, when she locks eyes with Wong, she becomes flustered and accidentally knocks over the tower. As part of the game's rules, whoever topples the tower must reveal a secret. The group immediately urges Shen You to confess who her crush is. The moment Wong hears this, a grin spreads across his face, prompting his classmates to tease him. There's no way someone as popular as Shen You could possibly like an unremarkable NPC like him. But to everyone's shock, including Wong himself, Shen You admits that she really does like him. She makes it clear that she isn't joking, revealing that she has had feelings for him ever since the day they met in middle school. Wong is completely stunned. Hearing Shen You confess is like a dream come true. This should have been the happiest moment of his life, but his happiness is short-lived. Shortly after the mixer ends, Wong is kidnapped. He now finds himself at the riverbank being brutally beaten by a group of strangers. He has never met these people before, but he quickly realizes that their leader, Sunjin, has a personal vendetta against him. Sunjin, a notorious gang leader, also happens to have a crush on Shen You. Instead of accepting that she likes someone else, Sunjin decides to make Wong suffer for it. His underlings continue to rough Wong up, making it clear that this is a punishment for catching Shen You's attention. Sunjin then grabs Wong's phone and video calls Shen You, forcing her to watch his humiliation. Shen You is horrified to see what they have done to Wong. Desperate to reassure her, Wong yells for Sunjin to leave her out of this. He doesn't want her to worry about him. But Sunjin isn't done yet. He mocks Wang, calling him a pathetic loser who has no right to be with someone as perfect as Shen Yao. He then demands that Wang swear never to see her again. If he refuses, Sunjin threatens to throw him into the river. Wang has a choice. He could take the easy way out and promise to stay away from Shen Yao. But betraying her like that is unthinkable. Instead, he makes his decision. He headbutts the guy holding him. The attack is strong enough that the man's grip loosens, but unfortunately, it also means Wang slips and falls into the river. Sunjin immediately panics. He never actually intended to kill Wang. He only wanted to scare him. Now, watching Wang disappear beneath the water, he realizes he may have just committed murder. And to make things worse, Shen Yao has witnessed everything. Meanwhile, beneath the water, Wang is sinking fast. He makes no effort to save himself. If he couldn't even protect the person he loves, then what was the point of living? As his consciousness fades, memories from his childhood resurface. He recalls a time when he ran away from a fight, an act that by middle school standards completely destroyed his reputation. But now, as he drifts deeper into the abyss, none of that matters anymore. Wang used to have a lot of confidence, but after everything that had happened, it was all gone. To make matters worse, he overheard two girls talking about him, calling him a crybaby and mocking his weakness. Their words cut deep, making him feel even worse about himself. Hours passed, and as the school day ended, everyone went home. However, Wang stayed behind, too lost in his own sorrow to leave. He sat alone by the school gate, sulking in silence. Eventually, Shen Yao walked out of the gate but stopped as soon as she noticed Wang sitting there. Concerned, she approached him and asked what was wrong. Wang remained silent, unwilling to share his feelings. Shen Yao, assuming he had forgotten his umbrella, offered to share hers so they could walk home together. Wang, however, refused her offer, insisting that he could walk home by himself. But Shen Yao pointed out that it was still raining and without an umbrella, he would be completely soaked. Wang realized she was right but stubbornly said he could just wait at the gate until the rain stopped. Shen Yao found his reasoning amusing, but then she noticed a cut on his arm. Worried, she asked him to let her see it. At first, Wang refused, reluctant to show any weakness. But Shen Yao reassured him that she just wanted to help, promising to dress the wound for him. After some hesitation, Wang finally agreed, allowing her to tend to his injury. She gently placed a bandage over the cut, then with a playful smile blew a kiss onto it, saying it would heal faster that way. At that very moment, Wang's heart was completely captured. He had already imagined the next 50 years of his life with Shen Yao. Overwhelmed with gratitude, he thanked her for her kindness, and from that day forward, the two of them became practically inseparable. Back in the present, Wang woke up underwater. He felt disoriented but soon noticed a strange light emanating from the bottom of the river. He had already sunk too far to make it back to the surface before drowning, so he decided to embrace his fate and swam downward to investigate the mysterious light before his final moments. As he reached the river, he discovered a small glowing cube. He picked it up, and before he could even process what was happening, the cube activated and merged with his body. A sudden, excruciating pain surged through him, overwhelming his senses. Moments later, he was inexplicably teleported out of the water and hurled into a wormhole. Everything around him blurred as he traveled through the unknown, until he was suddenly dropped into a vast, cube-shaped space. Wang woke up in a panic, his heart racing. Just moments ago, he was drowning, and now he was here, wherever here was. He was relieved to be alive, but the confusion of his current situation only grew stronger. Just then, a holographic system interface appeared in front of him, announcing that Wang had gained a special ability. The system explained that he could now draw a 15-meter radius around himself and teleport to any location within that range instantly. None of this made any sense to Wang. He didn't believe in teleportation. How could this possibly be real? But before he could even react, his body moved against his will, and he was suddenly teleported into the sky above the canal. Panic surged through him again. He was high above the ground, fearing that he would fall to his death. But then he realized he wasn't falling, he was floating. Once he calmed down, he looked below and saw Sunjin frantically searching the water. It seemed like Sunjin truly believed he had killed Wang. Watching the notorious gang leader desperately looking for his body was oddly amusing. However, before Wang could enjoy the sight for Wang, he had been teleported into an empty classroom at his school. It was undeniable now. He really could teleport. But he still had no idea how he had acquired this power. Suddenly, the system spoke again, confirming that Wang had continuously activated his teleportation ability. Wang froze. He could hear a voice in his head. Was he losing his mind? The system quickly corrected him. It wasn't inside his head, but rather inside his body. That revelation wasn't very comforting, and Wang immediately demanded that the system leave his body. The system, however, ignored his complaints and issued a warning. Someone was approaching. A staff member was walking toward the classroom, having heard a strange noise from inside. He opened the door and peered inside, but all he saw was an empty room with a small puddle of water on the floor. Wang had already teleported away once again. This time, he found himself safely back at his house. Needing to calm down, Wang decided to take a shower. Once he was done, he reached for his phone, surprised to find that it still worked despite having been submerged in the river. The first thing he did was call Shen Yao to let her know he was alive. The moment she answered, she frantically asked if he was all right. Wang assured her that he was fine, but Shen Yao was furious. She thought Sunjin had gone way too far. She immediately asked Wang if they should report Sunjin to the police. In all honesty, Shen Yao should have called the cops the moment she saw Wang fall off the bridge. But Wang told her there was no need. He had managed to escape without Sunjin seeing him, meaning Sunjin was probably still searching the river, panicking over the possibility of facing jail time. For now, Wang told Shen Yao to get some rest, then hung up the call. Lying in bed, Wang found himself wondering what to do about the strange system now attached to him. Even if he told someone about it, no one would believe him. Before he could dwell on it further, the system appeared once again. They asked if Wang had calmed down yet. Annoyed, Wang asked why it kept following him. The system simply reminded him that it was now part of his body, meaning there was no way for him to escape it. The system then activated the cube again, and Wang was sucked into it once more. Inside, the system explained that it had established a connection with Wang's body. In other words, he was stuck with it forever. That also meant he was now the official user of the Heradric Cube Universal System, making him the master of the system. Wang still didn't fully understand what that meant, so he asked where exactly he was. The system explained that this was a macro space within the cube. Although the cube was only 3 centimeters big, it held an immense amount of space inside. Wang could tell the system was telling the truth, but he still had questions. Why had it chosen to help him? The system's response was simple. It wanted to make his dream come true. And that dream was to become the king of the world. This was the end of episode 1. Subscribe so you won't miss the next one.